Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Where last we left off, our eclectic party were, let's say, dicking around for a little bit. They got some tailored suits, they met their contact Maurice, and they planned at least some part of their heist for this interesting arcane artifact known as the Bloodstone that Maurice is willing to pay 15,000 to you all for you to steal or acquire, however you see fit. Now we go into the actual heist side of things. So what I'd like for you guys is to give me an actual plan. You can debate, obviously in character, of how you would like to do it. Now that, is it Amadio? Now that Amadio has...
Amadio.
Amadio. Now that you've scoped out the actual parade itself and located where the artifact is, I'd like you guys to kind of debate on how you would like to steal it or how you would like to accomplish your goal for this heist.
Is now a good time to mention I fit through keyholes?
That could be very useful.
There wasn't that many keyholes, but maybe there is some underneath in the tunnels.
Like, or not specifically keyholes, just like I can fit through that space.
What about magic barriers?
I guess so, if it's a small crack.
No.
I feel like you're not giving me respect right now.
No.
Oh god.
You humiliated me in front of Taylor.
You humiliate yourself every day.
Wow.
By what? Denying I have barons?
Existing.
Alright, we done? Well,
Yeah,
what was that about?
What?
I reckon we should get on to discussing an actual plan instead of insulting each other, yeah? We're a team!
Exactly.
God
What
da-
are our strengths and weaknesses?
Our
So you
strengths,
can
Milo. Our weaknesses, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry is actually incredibly strong.
What's
Alright, I
your...
was-
Curry will wrestle you.
It's
make
just a
a
bit of
joke, yeah,
banter.
a bit of
Tim
banter,
Curry,
yeah,
calm
yeah,
down,
yeah,
alright?
What the fuck?
Sorry, what?
Now, let's get down to business.
To defeat the
Down to
Huns?
We
business.
all thought it. Brain broken.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
If we need to bash some heads in, I'm your man.
Tim Curry is also very good at that.
But I don't think we want to do that. We want to be stealthy.
We could just kill them all and take it.
I want you to attack at day or at night.
Holy
How
fuck.
much does poison gas cost?
What the hell?
How much platinum did we spend on suits?
I will say it was... I mean, they're nice suits, so I'm going to say... 1 platinum is 10 gold, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
If we create a small crack underneath it, I can just grab it.
I've got a hammer that could do that.
It needs to be a crack big enough to fit the bloodstone as well.
And we do need to be quiet, yeah?
Again, are we going to attack at day or at night?
We could just go underneath through the tunnels.
But during the day, the bloodstone is displayed, correct?
The bloodstone wasn't displayed when I was there, was it?
No, it wasn't.
No.
I...
But what? Oh, never know. What if it is on display?
Then we'll just lower the pedestal from underneath.
They could get sus though.
That's fine, they'll have to get through all the tunnels.
I'll say you spent 6 platinum.
Oh.
How much mustard gas could we buy with the rest?
Give me a moment, I'll have to...
0.
I didn't research it.
Price of mustard gas. Buy mustard gas. eBay.
How to escape Australian Federal Police.
Oh no.
Did you know that trend recently where people are like, make the comment section look like this person's search history?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yes, I find it really funny. I don't know why.
There was one I saw a while back of make this make this comment section look like Donald Trump's search history. I've forgotten them all, but some of them were hilarious.
Give me a second. You guys debate some more while I actually find the
Yes.
thing that
So
I'm looking
what?
for.
One potential idea is cracking ground.
I can just pick it right up.
Why don't we just blow up the ground underneath it and
That'll
just take it
cause-
from the rubble?
That will cause too much attention.
Yes.
We want to do this
Yeah.
stealthily.
We can just hide somewhere for a couple of days.
Also, like, how advanced is this? Like, CD, like surveillance cameras? Or is it like,
No, so there's not surveillance cameras. In D&D there's these things called scrying orbs, so essentially they're like a surveillance system in that you can see,
right.
but it's not, like, it requires a spell to activate it, so if you were to use something anti-magic on a scrying orb, like, they are dotted around the place, but you get the sense that it's more in the hands of the guards who are actually patrolling.
Right.
But technically, with scrying, you can see and hear a particular creature that is within the same plane, I think it is, as you. They have to be in the same plane, and you can do this thing called scrying on them, where you can observe them. So
Okay.
you assume that might be at least part of it.
Hear me out, guys.
We're listening.
Is there a terrorist cell that we can fuel?
Yes.
A terrorist
Me.
cell.
A terrorist cell?
Yeah.
Well, you
So,
did
like,
say it was on Revolution's door. I
Like-
mean,
just
Not exactly what I meant. But
no Bolsheviks about we can give bombs to and just attack it for us, thanks.
no, there are, but you would have to. It's very involved. You'd have to be connected to the right people, and you'd have to know exactly what to ask. So, like,
we could plant evidence that means they want to go there. I don't know, like
Body.
an anti-capitalist grenade.
Body.
I guess a body.
okay, I will say that if you wanted to go the poison mustard gas route, I would say it would cost you probably, depending on how much you'd like, cost you probably 200 to 300 gold pieces.
That's pretty affordable if you ask me, and it's 3 platinum pieces.
Wait, now,
No, it is not.
30 platinum pieces.
How many platinum do we have remaining? Do you have the platinum bag? How much platinum?
We spent 6 before.
And we had
6.
40 something?
Yeah, no, sorry. We're
Nobody
actually all
wrote it
out of
down.
platinum at the moment. There's nothing left.
I would
What?
like to roll a maths check.
Did you
I am lying to them. Can I roll deception?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, 16.
I wish to roll inside.
May I?
Sure.
13.
Yeah.
Safe for my...
Also, we have to believe the line now that you.
You can roll-
12.
You can roll an insight check to see if you know whether or not they're lying.
For some reason, you really think that there's just no platinum left.
I literally gave you so much of it. Where did it go?
What do I need to do?
Insight check, so it's
+1.
I got a bad habit with the pokies, yeah?
Oh my god.
8.
Nothing
9.
gets done.
You genuinely think that for some reason all the platinum's just gone missing? Like, where did it go? We
is
don't
the
know.
greatest polluter of all.
What the fuck? We needed that money for the mission.
Oh, you know what they say, gambling is the poor man's tax. I'm contributing to society, yeah?
That is so sad.
I don't know who's more angsty. It's just like, wake me up inside.
So
save
the short of it is we're not gonna mustard gas the place because we're out of platinum.
Well, we're out of mustard gas.
Why can't we do what is there a
Ew.
moral objection to filling a chamber full of civilians with mustard gas?
It would draw too much attention.
Well, they'll all be joking.
You'd also be killing innocent people, but
I have no qualms with that.
Looks like it's terrorist cell time.
I was suggesting we could just go underneath and take it
They call me Terrorist Cell Tim.
Let's do that.
It's my prison name.
I can blow a hole, not blow, smash a hole. In the
We don't
wall.
really have to blow a hole. We might have to blow a hole. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't been in the tunnels.
Let's not forget that our good friend over here, Milo, suggested that we impersonate a guard.
Do the guards even touch the stone?
I mean, maybe underneath.
What?
Well,
Why don't
because
they touch the top of the stone?
it gets dropped into tunnels underneath it.
I don't think you answered my question.
Why don't they touch the top of the stone? Why do they only touch it underneath?
That's pretty creepy.
You're noted, but also not noted. Remind me to cut your pay.
You're not paying me. You're not the boss.
Remind me to cut you.
Yes.
Ooh. It's gotten very dark. Okay, so what is your plan?
Someone's
Thank
got
you,
moral
Colonel.
objections to mustard gas.
So I just think it's a bad plan.
Well, I don't understand. This is me just injecting, not as the DM, but just as somebody who is present at this discussion. How does the mustard gas help you steal the stone that is currently encased in a barricade
How do we
of
protect
arcane energy?
ourselves?
Oh,
Sure,
I was just gonna,
kill-
I was just gonna break
Releasing a
it.
bunch of mustard gas will draw attention from not just the parade, but also.
Mm-hmm.
Guards
Also-
don't have gas masks, do
I'm pretty good at avoiding being sick.
Same.
Okay.
I guess we just steal it from underneath.
Do we Ocean's 11 or 9/11?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, we're not.
It's a
We're
heist movie.
not.
Oh.
We're not joking about 9/11. No,
I'm
no,
agreeing
no,
with
no,
that.
no,
I'm
no.
happy with that.
Let's just settle things.
Very
Bring
bad
it back to the
person.
fact that we are playing D&D. That was a very tragic event. Should not be joked about. Let's just
So
say
on
what
one
it was.
behalf, we either sink it into the ground and just take it. The other one, we create a loud explosion and not take it.
So,
Or then maybe take it if not
so
broken.
our objective is objective is to take the stone.
Yeah, so we should just
Not-
lower it.
So we should do the first.
Yeah, the other one might blow it up.
Alright, so what are we doing?
So we're going a bit stealthy. We're gonna be sneaking into the tunnels.
Can we do stealthy or can I do punch guard and face until
we
no
do
more
punch
guards?
guide into. Oh,
Can I suffocate him?
Yes.
Alright,
Acceptable.
as long as we don't have guards running for help or escaping.
Alright, I
or
reckon
alerting others.
It's fine, they will not outrun me.
Excellent.
I'll go in ahead of everyone, and I'll let you know if the coast is clear.
Sounds good.
How will you be communicating?
I believe I can magically communicate unless I did not take
Hell
that
yeah,
spell.
let's go.
I do, I have message.
Like to the guards or to the Bloodstone?
Hmm?
To the guards that you're going ahead of everyone? Or to the Bloodstone?
To the bloodstone?
Are you moving ahead to try and infiltrate the guards and get something to impersonate the guards with, or are you just immediately going ahead to the Bloodstone and just forgetting the guards?
I'll go in. I'll take one of the guards out, yeah? In it.
Fucking A.
And we'll get our friend over here, Milo, to impersonate the guards.
But see, I'm struggling to see how impersonating a guard will help our situation. There's 4 of us.
They won't suspect a thing. They're
But-
lowering the bloody diamond down, or the the stone.
So we only want one person to go and get the stone. Then.
I really feel like there's miscommunication somewhere.
We should just all go and take the stone. We should maybe just walk in and take it. Probably easier.
Let's just kill some people.
There's only 10 to 15 guards in there, we can take them.
I really thought with less people it would be easier to decide on a plan.
Well, you see what happened is, yes, less people would make it easier. However, you got worse people.
You got all the bad ones.
No.
Oh, I
Terrorists
don't.
tell Tim never did wrong.
Why? Why? Okay.
My name is Tim Farley and I actively endorse terrorists.
I'm going to move us away from the terrorist discussion.
Are we going underneath and taking it from the sewers and just taking it that way, or are we gonna go above and just take it from the box?
I can we go down. We go down below.
Cool.
Okay.
There.
I will say, with observation, you will either have to ask Maurice, or you will have to spend some time observing when it actually gets lowered after the night to know when it's coming down.
Alright, I got it. I'll sneak in overnight, on the first night, and watch the way they deal with it.
It's the third night currently.
I
The
mean-
fourth night, actually. We've only got like 2 days left.
We've got 2 nights though, right?
We could just rob the guy when he buys it.
I think we may only have one night if they finish in the afternoon.
How many?
This isn't ideal, actually. We're quite short on time. Maybe we don't bother with the observation.
James, what would you like to do?
How many nights do we have?
So you
How
have
many-
5 nights.
Yeah, but we're
It
on-
runs from 7 to some indeterminate amount of time because you have not actually been there at night, so you don't know.
We're at night 4,
Yes.
which means there may only be 1 night left.
Yes.
So you're at night 4, so you haven't actually gone. So you spent 4 days preparing yourselves. You have
Preparing.
you have a night tonight, night 4, and you have 1 night after that, so you have 2 nights remaining.
Well, then
Well, I'll
that's
sneak
settled
in it.
You fucking
I'll work
get-
it all
you
out.
know, you get
I'll
it.
let you know what's going on. We'll make an actual plan, and we'll steal everything.
Okay.
We could drive a boat into
My
into a
God.
smashing
I like that plan a lot. However, I think it defeats the purpose of subtlety. I would prefer that, honestly, but the client apparently doesn't want to be tracked.
We can wear masks.
What do we do with the ship?
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
So we would have masks and a boat with a hole in it.
Well, we would leave.
Okay. How about, alright, you can just go look and see what's going on, and then we just take it.
Is the plan still just grab it when we kill everyone? But this time, it's grab it when we kill everyone after we've looked.
Well, observe it, figure out what the fuck's going on, and then take the easiest route of taking it.
It sounds like you're just saying, let's kill it. Grab it.
I didn't propose the use of mustard gas earlier.
Okay. So let me get this straight. You're driving a boat into the building, taking the bloodstone, and what? Just
Leaving the
running
boat.
away? You're just running away.
He runs 40 feet.
You're just taking it
I,
after driving a boat through the wall
I mean,
and running away.
We can pretend we're part of the party.
well, like,
Plan?
well, I'm busy going through and thinking about it. I'm like, the moment I said, because all the guards will be buried in rubble.
The guard, not every guard in the city is contained in this one building.
Yeah, but we
I'm
don't have to worry about the ones in the building. They won't see us. They'll be buried in rubble.
But the
then
police.
We just leave as part of the party. We've got invites.
There won't be a party. We put a boat in the party.
Well, part of the party leaving party. Going to the after party.
What after party? All the guests have boats in them.
The after party, the hospital.
How would you and
I don't even know what to say right now.
It
I-
actually could work.
I think
out
the
fine.
current plan is, Borb goes in, looks, figures it out, what's the easiest way to take it, and then we take the easiest route of stealing it.
What if we just like pick it up and leave?
That was one of my ideas. I was just like, I can become resistant to literally all forms of damage. I mean, I could push like 10 people off a wharf.
Where did it go wrong for
I
me?
don't know.
I just would like to know.
Anyway. Borb observes. What does Borb see?
Yeah, could I
One night.
can I try to sneak in? Do I know where the entrance to these tunnels is?
No.
All right.
You have not asked the important questions for that. So what I'll say is I'll get you to roll an investigation check for me, please.
I just knew the tunnel existed.
Unless you would like to ask Maurice.
I'm going to roll investigation.
Go for it.
I have a really good idea.
What?
What if we get an undead to fly the ship and then we're just at the party?
Oh, that's a crit fail. I rolled a 1. That's a
Having just left the discussions about driving a boat through the wall of the building on this island, where several dangerous artifacts that have mostly been untested are currently housed in the building, you're so distracted by the thought of, yeah, wow, it'd be really easy actually to drive an airship through this wall, that you're thinking to yourself, what was I looking for again? And you completely miss the entrance to the tunnels.
Alright. Well,
Oh, fuck.
I mean, you made it more intense me there. I'm like, there'll be a lot of explosions to finish off any survivors if we crash the ship into it. All those artifacts can't be stable.
Let's just,
We
let
will
me also
die.
just point out, you guys have no idea what the Bloodstone does. You have no idea. So
No.
if you were to crash something into the Bloodstone on accident or set off something that was volatile, who's to say that the Bloodstone itself would not be damaged also?
To be fair, Maurice didn't ask for it undamaged. He asked for no witnesses.
Well, if you'd like to try, you can.
I'll return to the group.
That is technically true.
I return to the group. Did Murray say where this underground tunnel system was?
No.
Wasn't that your object? Wasn't that what you were doing just then?
Well, I may have missed my chance. I couldn't see anything.
Both an incredible violence it is then.
I guess we can just beat people up.
He said we were eclectic.
Ah, yes, eclectic means violent.
He
Does-
didn't know how right he was.
Does someone maybe want to meet up with Maurice and find out exactly what's going on?
No. Does someone else want to?
I
Police
guess
might
I
be at
will
the
go.
event tomorrow.
Or
We could potentially meet him there, ask him a quick question. and then
Maurice could very well be there
He could
at
very
this
well
very
be there.
moment.
Let's go see.
What's the time?
What is the time?
I would say it's probably about 10 at night.
Oh.
Can I go see if Maurice is at the event?
Sure.
Are there like smaller motorbike cars? Like not like massive airships, but like smaller ones? Like more like 4 people carriers?
Yeah, there are powered wagons.
Like little flying dinghies, basically.
Well, there's none in the vicinity at the moment. You have to go looking for one, but there are all kinds of different vehicles. Like you have almost like steam-powered cars. You also have steam-powered, but like smaller airships, generally used by the army or to traffic people from one side of Loftus. They're generally used by the wealthy to the other side, and they generally are a little bit smaller.
Cool.
Thanks.
Big
wanted
one
to
in,
do
small one out.
I mean,
That is an option.
I suggest we ask Maurice where the tunnels are.
Yes.
should I work on our getaway?
Yes.
Okay.
I sludge off.
Do we really trust that thing?
No.
I like
Thing.
go into a sewer grate, like I go over a sewer grate and just
Yeah.
in the sewers you hear an echoing.
This better not be your plan.
Have
Guys,
you
we just
guys-
squished it in the sewer grate.
That'd be like this bulky robot looking at it and just breaks it. Anyway, can I go find Maurice?
Sure. Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Please roll better than I did.
Not
That's much
20.
better than
Oh,
I
Nat
did.
20, as soon as you enter into the party, for a moment you're a little bit disoriented because there's so many people packed into this tight space, and there's almost a heady scent from everybody's kind of fine perfume that they're wearing. All of the flowers that are actually kind of suspended from this ceiling. It's like a vaulted high ceiling, and there's chains of flowers just dangling from the ceiling. Kind of a massive chandelier as well that's throwing off light, and it's grand and opulent, and there's people who are dressed in the most kind of outrageous, larger than life outfits. And for a second it's all very confronting for you for a moment. You brush the newly red blazer that's been tailored for you, straighten it slightly, and then within an instant, as you refocus, you see Maurice standing just in front of the bloodstone, just staring up at it, head cocked to the side, looking at it. People seem to be giving him a wide berth. You watch as he kind of taps his foot, though there appears to be no music playing at the moment.
Sorry to bother you, Maurice.
You head over?
Yeah.
Yes. I was wondering when I'd see you. See, it's so weird because this looks like the bloodstone. Did you happen to use an illusion or something?
How do I get in the tunnels?
So you don't. This is the bloodstone. You haven't. You know, it's not in your possession.
The suits took time. The tailor was slow.
Did you not try and negotiate for, quicker time?
Unfortunately, Tim exists.
That's fair. Apparently they are born from the darkness. How fascinating.
Yes.
I'm sure that was lovely.
It was a joyful experience.
Yes, I'm sure it was that. So, I assume you have a good reason for approaching me in front of my prize. What exactly can I help you with?
Is that lowered in the tunnels during the day?
Yes, it is.
How do I get
I
in the
told you this is
tunnels?
where they keep it. I told you it's not on display all the time. It's these things.
Yes, I came earlier and it was not on display.
Yes, they keep it in, safe confines so that people can't steal it. But there is a transportation period.
Yes. In the morning, I assume.
Well, given that the parade event doesn't start until 7 and it doesn't end until, pauses for a second, 4:15 exactly every single night that it's on.
What time is it?
It's currently, looks down at the watch. You don't keep one of these?
No.
Dear God. Okay. It's about 11 at night.
Cool. How do I enter the tunnels?
There's a doorway.
Where?
Quite obvious. There's lots of servants going in and out.
I will
Sorry,
go have
I'll
a
put my
look.
phone on
I
do not
shouldn't
disturb.
have trusted the bird.
So you didn't see the massive fuck off archway with the door in it that people are going in and out? It's kind of like a big deal. It's behind one of the marquees so that people who are going in and out don't die of heat stroke.
Thank you. I will go find that now.
Right, see that you do. Let me know if I can help in any other way. And do be quick about it. We are running out of time.
If we do not steal it by the end of the event, I will steal it from whoever buys it. Do not worry. It's probably easier.
Very well. So you're asking him for
Yeah, where the door is.
to the tunnel?
Yep.
Right. He sighs for a second, taps his foot a little bit more rapidly. Very well, follow me, and then just kind of heads out the building with you. Points out like a really huge archway. There's not a lot of things that are kind of spread out here on the actual outside of the building. It's kind of just positioned underneath a massive marquee, and you can see that there are tables on either side. They all seem to have what appear to be bags and coats and things that are kind of spread out on them. You assume this is like the coat room for the outside here. It's relatively easy to see that it's an archway with kind of flowers that are spiraling up, crawling across the actual top of the archway. These same kind of chains that are hanging down, beckoning you into
What
the
kind of
entrance.
uniforms do the people going in now have? Are they also just wearing suits?
Most of them are. If you get a little bit closer to them, you see that there is a ribbon that's kind of pinned to their chest pocket. It's like a rich plum colour, and it seems to have some sort of stitching on it. You assume it denotes their rank or their status as working within.
Are there any guards around that tunnel?
There are, so there are 2 stationed around the either side of the table.
Okay. Cool. Alright. I will head back to the game.
Excellent. It's easy enough to do.
Saturday.
Maurice heads back inside, mutters to himself as he goes. And you're now back with the rest of the group.
We either need to kill some staff members or some guards and take their uniforms. The staff members are probably easier to fight.
Alright, but I'm not too bad at disguising myself.
Also, the transport period is at 4:15 in the morning. Then it will be transported again for the open at 7 p.m.
So we attack it when.
Ideally tonight, or when it's being transported there tomorrow. One of the two.
And did you find the
Yes,
passageway?
it is really big. Like, really big.
Like, fit a boat in it big?
Probably not. The boat could be a good distraction, though. I must say, on the list of ideas that Tim has had, this is one of his better ones.
Now that's saying something.
Yes. It is at least the one I have put the most entertained thought into. I always wanted to be a pirate.
Alright then.
Me too.
Where's the door? I'll go scope it out.
So we're doing this now.
Oh, we need to go get ribbons. They have
I
ribbons.
do, but
Can you make
You got that?
ribbons?
I've got that under control.
Okay.
Not for you, but for me.
Can I get a ribbon?
You're not getting. I'm going in alone. I don't work with other people.
What? You're literally part of a team of 4.
Oh, Jim, I think he might be planning something.
I got this under control.
He wants to stay for himself.
Can I get a ribbon? I just want
I'll get
to
you-
feel
I'll
like
get you-
a special boy.
I'll get you a ribbon.
Thank you.
All right. With the directions as to where this massive doorway that I
Sure.
could not find.
I will
is.
walk.
As soon as you step off the kind of dock area that you guys have been clustered in around the airship that you've taken, you turn your head to the left and you see this massive archway that kind of tapers gently down into the surface of the ground. Looks kind of like it's a staircase down, hidden by this covered archway that's being kind of clung to by moss, algae that kind of builds into the cracks, these flowers that crawl up its side.
Can I take close notice of the uniforms of the servants?
Sure. They all seem to be wearing silk suits. There's differing patterns. You assume that might be relating to each person's upper and lower house. For the most part, they do all have a ribbon. There's only 1 or 2 that you see that pass through. I'm assuming you're spending about half an hour looking or so. That don't have a ribbon actually pinned to them, but they also seem to be wearing satin.
Okay. I'm gonna cast disguise self and
Okay.
make myself appear identical to one of the servants passing in and out.
Sure.
Beep up, boop, beep, beep. How long does this last? 1 hour, I think.
Okay. You disguise yourself into, how would you like your person to look?
Identical to the other servants. I can also, I believe, I can change form completely so I don't look like a bird.
Sure.
I'll transform myself into a human.
Sure.
And make myself as similar to one of the guards, one of the servants I paid close attention to.
Sure. Do you have a preference for gender?
I guess I've got a masculine voice, so
Sure.
You can have whatever voice you want.
Yeah.
can shape, disguise self, change my voice.
No, but you have perfect
You're
mimicry.
yeah,
Oh,
you're a
true.
kangaroo, so it's up to you.
True. I'm going to stick with a guy, with
Sure.
a dude.
Sure. If you're looking specifically for humans, there's a couple
Or-
of them you could choose from. Sorry. So one of them is kind of a beefier, more muscular individual. Seems to be carrying heavy Hessian sacks of what appear to be flour, kind of over the shoulders. Another one is kind of carrying a crate. This one's more slight, bit more lithe and lean. Appears to be carrying some sort of crate in and out. And then there are two that are seemingly struggling with almost like a fold-out table that they're trying to kind of fit into the doorway. Don't seem to know how to turn it the right way up and are kind of just attempting to get it through without folding the legs down and just, making a mess of it. Eventually they do get through. You can choose to look like one of those or whatever you'd prefer if you have a specific image in mind.
Actually, I might not. Have I already cast it? Because I said I had cast it.
Well, I
Or can I
assume...
hold off on the decision for a moment?
Sure, I'll hold off on the decision for a moment.
I'll approach the one trying to get the table through.
Sure, there's two, that one on either end, that are trying to push the table through.
There's two of them. What about the guy with the box?
The guy with the box, just seems to kind of be by himself, just carrying the box. Doesn't seem super heavy.
I might run up and interrupt him.
Sure.
And
Yeah, what?
the boss told me to take this in.
Whose boss? My boss?
You bet.
Are you sure? He said he was taking tonight off. I've stumped you already.
No, urgent request from his replacement. The acting boss.
Roll a deception check for me, please.
Just try to be like, yo, just take the night off.
Hmm?
Just take the night off. Let's work for you, eh?
15?
Let's see. Okay, that's really weird. I wonder why he lied to me about that. Unless there was a change in schedule that I didn't notice.
Yeah, no, he said that there was a bit of a problem and he needed someone a bit sharper up here to deal with it.
You calling me dumb?
No, not me. I've heard a lot about you. Pretty bright bloke, but the boss is... Don't know what you've done to upset him, but he doesn't seem happy with you. Maybe you should go have a chat when he's back from his break, yeah?
Well, all I do is carry boxes in and out. I don't know how you need someone smarter to do that. I've taken from point A to point B.
Oh,
They're
this-
not even heavy boxes at
This
the
has got some
moment.
special cargo in it, I hear.
It's a cup. And kind of lifts the lid and shows you that it's just a series of cups.
That's just a cup. You got no... I mean, this is why we need the brains. These aren't no ordinary cups. These are expensive. They're magic.
Roll a deception check again.
So I'm gonna regret this.
Ooh.
18.
Oh, it's really improving.
It's a magic cup. What, you mean it's supposed to be on display or something?
Alright, I can't go into too much detail on these.
Sorry, who did you say you were again? Like, I don't think we've met no one. How do you know this and I don't? I'm the one who's carrying the box from point A to B. You know what I mean?
As I said, I work closely with the big man.
I've never seen you before though. What's your name?
The name's Bob. My real name.
Your name's Bob.
No.
Yeah, just say it.
Yeah.
You look really upset for a moment there. So did I get it wrong? Is it Barb?
You know,
Like
people
Barbara?
mess it up all the time. I'm just used to it. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta get this in. I'm on a tight schedule.
Okay.
Why
well,
don't you sit down for a moment?
no, I can't sit down on the job. Then they dock my pay. Don't you know that?
Yeah. You know what? On behalf of the boss, sit down. I'll tell him. I'll put in a good word for you. Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check for me, please.
This is not good. These are too many checks. One of these is gonna go bad.
Well, you're doing different things every time, so you know.
Hey, natural
Oh my
20.
God.
Natural 20? Okay, well, I guess I could take my break and kind of looks down for a second, thinks, okay, well, I haven't finished taking all the crates in yet, so as long as you talk to
take
the
care of
boss, that's okay.
I'll take care of
I
the rest
put
of the
them
boxes.
over near, and kind of points to a section that's got probably about 10 boxes, all of similar size, that are kind of stacked up in the corner there. So, I guess I'll see you in a bit when I take back over.
All right. Sounds good.
Passes you the crate.
How long do you think it would take for me to move all of these boxes?
Probably, well, you don't know where they're going. So, depending on how far it is, I mean, if you're just moving them into the doorway, probably only like 15 minutes.
Right. Is there anywhere else I could just stash them away?
You could try and hide them around the side of the tunnel if you want, or you could put them just inside the entryway. It's up to you.
Right. Actually, you know what? For the time being, I'm gonna disguise myself as the person I just interacted
Yep.
with. Gonna take note of their voice as well as
Sure.
they go off to their break.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name.
You were the one who told me to sit down for my job because the boss wanted to talk to me. You don't know my name.
No, I know it's.
How did you know it was me
I
then? It could have been
recognise
any
the
old
cargo.
fucking joker.
I recognize the car.
You recognised the cup.
Yeah,
How did you do that? The box was closed.
I can feel the magical aura of the cups.
You
Just
for a second
don't worry
went,
about it. Go on your break. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
All right.
Looks at you suspiciously for a second. How come you're asking me my name, but when I asked you your name, you're the one who changed the subject, like?
Bob. The name's Bob. We've been over this.
But you said that wasn't the actual name. You implied it wasn't.
No, it's not. It's I
Oh,
go by.
so you're going by a fake name, are you? That seems proper dodgy, doesn't it?
You know how some exotic names people don't quite get them right. Bob's what I go by because people don't get my name right.
Exotic names.
You ever heard
Alright. It's Trevor.
Trevor?
Yeah, it's Trevor.
Well, good on you, Trevor.
It's gone for a second. You're right. I'll see you later then, Barbara. And turns around. Very
Alright.
slowly. Does a circle.
I'll get to work moving these boxes.
Sure. Give me a strength check.
Oh no. this is
Have you
where.
had a +5 Warforged?
Your +5 Warforged yet today? You enjoying your
5.
You're fucked.
5? I'll say that these boxes are surprisingly heavy. And it takes you a very long time to shuttle them from point A to B. You can feel your back aching. You're not using proper lifting technique. All of your joints are cracking in this unfamiliar form. It takes you about 45 minutes to move all of the boxes.
15
And you're just putting them around the side of the tunnel. It's about 3 meters away.
Oh no. I'm gonna with that done, I'm gonna sneak in
Have I
to.
just been watching him struggle for 45 minutes in
Yep.
boxes?
I'm gonna.
Roll a stealth check for me, please.
Well, are we just chilling outside? Just wait.
I
Just
assume
watching.
you are, yeah.
Sorry. Jim's off it. Bob's doing his own.
17.
17, yeah, you think you're sticking to the shadows, you think you're relatively hidden, making your way downtown, making your way around the tunnel system. As soon as you step in, it immediately drops in temperature, so it'd been a nice kind of temperate environment outside. It's now not necessarily frigid, but it is definitely cooler. Everything seems less grand, definitely a little bit more claustrophobic, narrow. There are some magical torches that are lit. They kind of glow faintly in reds and oranges, and some of them even cycle through a blue colour as you pass by. The actual tunnels themselves are labyrinthian, so it's relatively winding and hard to find your way around. You can see that people are bustling to and fro. There's lots of people that are kind of dragging carts, or some that are carrying boxes and sacks, and kind of rolling barrels in front of them. You can also see that there are some who appear to have platters and things levitating in front of them, as they kind of control them and move them along the walkway. They all seem to kind of levitate and hover down the actual passageway itself. I'll get you to roll a survival check for me to attempt to navigate these tunnels and find your way to the Bloodstone.
9.
The 9 takes you a little while, and you'd probably be better off, you think, stopping and asking someone, but that might blow your cover. I'd say after about 15 minutes, you think you might be going the right way. You only have 5 minutes left on your actual spell. Yeah.
Ah. So I'm heading in the right direction.
You think so, yeah.
Are there many people around?
Yeah, there's lots of people kind of all around the actual tunnel themselves.
Is it dark? Or is it well illuminated?
It's well lit.
Hmm.
There are some pockets of darkness.
Has the type of person that's around changed at all, or is it?
These ones all seem to be more of the workers that you'd seen on the docks, some of which are not as well presented. They all seem to be carrying heavier cargo, and they all seem to have like the bulging muscles of workers that are kind of pulling things and pushing them all day.
I'm gonna find a dark spot in the room and cast Disguise Self again.
Okay,
Just as one of these
sure.
other.
Sure.
Wait, this is the 3rd time I've cast it, I think.
I think it's only second, isn't it?
I cast it once to make myself look like a. Okay. Yep.
It depends whether you mentioned that you were going to try and look like the worker that you were just talking to, but
Yeah.
then you also then were still chatting to him, and I don't know if you actually cast that spell or not.
Oh, true.
Oh well, I assumed you did before you went into the tunnel, so I'm not going
Yeah.
to punish you for doing that.
Okay. Okay. Well, then, with that 1 hour timer back and fresh again, I'll continue exploring.
Sure. Okay, I'll get you to roll another survival check for me, please.
20.
With a 20, having been going in the right direction before, it's relatively easy to find yourself in a less populated area. So there are people that are they're less common here now, but you can see some that are kind of intersecting, and almost like a rabbit warren, kind of these interconnecting paths There's lots of different forks in the road, different winding trails to lead you on, but you remain steady to the way that you think is the blood stone, and eventually you find yourself in a larger chamber than you'd seen before in this tunnel system. There appears to be only one other person in the room now, and they appear to be stacking what looks like wooden planks up against a wall and kind of coiling chain around the bottom. Above, it seems like a lower ceiling than you'd expect for the opulence of Loftus as a whole. However, there does seem to be an impression of a marble hexagon just above the ceiling, which you know mimics the pedestal from what you'd heard of the bloodstone above. You can see that there's a smaller stone pedestal below that appears to have chains connecting to each of its sides. It's just a regular square.
I'll shout out to the worker. In a voice that I might have heard earlier. Oh, is this where the bathroom is?
You watch as the worker turns around to you. No, dude, this is just like a storage kind of chamber thing, I think.
What's that thing in the middle?
Like a stone thing or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, right?
Yeah.
Like, they got lots of cool shit in this place.
Have you seen the blood the stone?
The blood?
The bloodstone?
Gotta think for a second. We'll see. Oh yeah, like, I think I saw it the other day. It's pretty sick, dude. Like, there's tons of people that are really, like, antsy about getting that thing sold. Like, this one dude was going crazy, man. Was like, hey, I really need this because it's gonna help my wife and, like, all this shit. And he was getting really aggro, man. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I really need a piss, man.
Well, there's, like, a corner you can go in, I guess, or something. Like, maybe that'll help you out. I don't know.
Alright, I'll go and piss in the corner.
Okay. Politely avert his eyes. You can hear the faint sound of him stacking. You piss in the corner.
Thanks, man.
All good, dude. You know, your voice kind of changed, like, halfway through. You from where I'm from?
No, sorry, man. I got a bit of a sore throat.
Okay. Does that change your accent and stuff? 'Cause, like, I heard there's this pretty nasty, like, flu going around. People are, like, I don't know, really hit hard by it or something. So is that, like, a side effect or something? Am I gonna turn into, like, one of those stuffy assholes above? I just keep stumping you today.
Yeah, man, it's... I'm not feeling too good, man. I think I gotta get going.
Dude, do you need help, man? And, like, holy shit. Yeah, yes. You kind of sprint out of the room.
And then once I'm kind of out of sight, I'll walk back to find everyone.
Sure, easy enough to do. You meet back up with the party. However, you do notice that Tim Curry is suspiciously still missing.
Wonderful.
Where did he go? I forgot.
Went to go and investigate, like, one of the flying wagons, like a getaway vehicle.
Yes, that's right. The getaway.
Yeah.
Right.
Should we go find Tim Curry or should we go steal rock?
I
What have you found out?
I don't think we're getting in there, yeah? There's way too many people. It's way too many innocent people. I mean, not that I give a shit.
There are innocent people both ways.
I reckon our best chance is intersecting the convoy. When they go to move the thing, that's when we strike.
Do you know where they move it to? Yeah.
I know where it lands. There's this little cup. There's a little cup with
Can we
chains.
just go to steal it from there then?
Did I see any good spots to hide in that room?
Well, he was stacking planks against the wall. You assume when he's done, you could probably hide behind there.
I mean, we could do that, yeah, but I don't know how on earth you're gonna get in there.
Did you not get me one of the ribbons?
Oh shit, the ribbon. I had a plan, I forgot it.
Do you have the ability to make a forgery of the ribbon?
I'm sorry, mate. I forgot.
Check your racial traits.
Do I? I don't think I do. Do
There
I?
is a very subtle hint there. Unless it was just a legacy one.
I think while you guys are looking for that, we'll just quickly swap over to Tim Curry. So you're going to try and look for a vehicle. Roll an investigation check for me, please. That was disturbing.
That was my walking. That was my traveling
Yuck.
noise.
The Skittles. Taste the rainbow, everyone.
Red cycle gone. They're gone, mate.
17.
This is 17. In the area that you are currently, in like the wealthy section of Lostis, it's relatively easy to find these kind of smaller vehicles. They're usually shaped kind of in almost like a triangle, with a longer kind of pointed tail for aerodynamic sake. They have kind of larger, almost a windscreen at the front, that you could set up behind. Looks like it'd fit 4 people. Might be a bit tight depending on how big the people are, but looks like you could fit 4 to 5 people.
Is there anyone manning it currently?
Looks like it, yeah. Currently
are
just
they?
kind of waiting. Hat tipped down, has a cigarette.
I don't know how I missed it.
Well, flopping along the ground, I would like to make my way up the side of the cart,
Sure.
and make my way up to behind them stealthily.
Sure, roll a stealth check for me, please.
30, 20.
Dirty 20, sure. You, using your relatively sticky personage, you begin to kind of crawl up the side and set yourself up behind them. They don't appear to be paying attention to you. Hat is kind of tipped low, cigarette in hand. Currently appears to be humming a tune.
Tim Curry grabs onto the backboard that they're sitting on, presumably.
Standing, leaning up.
Oh, okay. Well, Tim Curry sort of positions themselves like right behind, attached to it, and wants to grab onto their face, keeping them standing, and suffocate them against the cart.
Okay, give me a second. I don't actually know what check for suffocation.
I believe I'm trying to grapple them, but for an extended amount of turns.
The way I've seen this run is multiple contested strength checks.
Well, there is actually, I believe, it relates to your con mod.
Yeah, for holding your breath, but I wouldn't use it for this because con mod thing is like people can hold their breath like 7 minutes.
Give me a second.
Who knows? Maybe he's an old man who can't hold who has another heart attack. Tim Curry's primary way of disposing of his prey.
Just causing heart attacks.
Okay. Alright. Roll a strength check for me, please.
Basic strength or athletics? Because I have a to initiate or escape a grapple, I have advantage because I'm amorphous.
Okay.
Does that apply to this situation, would you say?
Depends how to define it. 'Cause the grapple might be the attack roll.
Like, I think a grapple is an attack, so I don't think so. But just give me a second.
That's all good.
You're actually attempting to grapple it?
Depends how you run the suffocation rules. My end goal is to suffocate this person.
I figured.
Yeah.
Make an attack.
Mm-hmm. Just unarmed strike?
Yep.
Cool. Oh, 7. 9.
Okay. Unfortunately does not hit.
Do I have advantage because I'm stealth?
Sure. Ordinarily, I'd say no.
Okay, well that's better. 23.
Sure. It hits. How big are you?
Small to medium, depending on how I maneuver myself.
But I mean, how big are you now, currently?
Small.
Okay. Sure. Roll an athletics check to grapple then, because you hit.
Oop, 1 and nat 20.
I'll say that counts for 2 checks. I'm only going to do 3 as a contested strength check.
Mm-hmm.
So, currently grappled, what that means, just for Mark's benefit, speed becomes 0. They're incapacitated. And I think they have to make a check to... No, it ends an effect. So if they were confused or charmed by something, the grapple would end that effect, I believe. If they were applying that charm to somebody else. Okay, I'm going to do a contested strength check with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 14.
I got a 9.
Okay, breaks the grapple.
Again.
It spins around to face you. It'll now have its turn, since your turn was the grapple. That's only a 10 to hit.
No,
Oh,
it
no.
doesn't hit. It
Doesn't
doesn't hit.
hit?
The
Okay.
fact you had to check that.
Kind of screams an alarm, runs around to kind of smack you, and you just kind of drop down with a kind of shrink yourself down and pop back up as the swing goes around. Then make your grapple check. So attack action first, and then grapple if you hit.
Cool. That is a 16.
That hits.
Come on. That is a 9 to grapple.
Okay, give me a second. So that was with your advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually succeeds. So,
Sleep.
okay, you
Sleep.
grapple it. Yep. Roll another one. You're currently suffocating it.
16.
16. You maintain the grapple. One more time.
19.
19. You succeed, and as you are kind of fitting yourself around the face of this individual, you begin to pull back, and the goo from your hand that is kind of pressed against it begins to seep into the mouth and begins to choke. You can hear the bubbling noise, and the eyes begin to bulge, bloodshot and red. They begin to sweat, choke, and try and grapple you off. But you hold tight, and eventually the goo seeps all the way down into the throat of the individual, and you watch as they sag against you. You feel their body kind of heavily press into you, and you believe you have grappled them to death.
You shall be my plague.
Then I would like to cast Animate Dead.
He's not
Sure.
dead, he's unconscious.
He's...
Well, I'm...
Just wait for me to roll the death saves.
Okay.
Oh, could I just keep just fucking up his death saves just by just...
You just
You want to
hit him.
keep strangling him?
Yeah.
Well, you can just punch him and that fails his death saves. Each melee attack
Okay,
has 2
you
failed saves.
continue to press into him and suffocate him, and eventually you kill him. Sure, you want to animate dead? I'll
Yes.
say, yep, go for it.
Totally not suspicious having a zombie about.
He's fine. He's wearing a top hat. It's very not suspicious.
He's not wearing a top hat.
He's not wearing a top hat. Fuck. Where's the top hat? I will be the top hat.
Ew.
Not the top hat that the city wanted, but the top hat the city needs.
Well, I raise it up.
Sure.
And then I would like to mentally command it to take control of the carriage and take us away.
Sure. Follows your kind of stilted, almost like it's on puppet strings, and sets up behind the carriage. Puts both hands down on what appeared to be like a long board that's got runes kind of carved into it. Presses the hands down into it, and you watch as it shifts one hand up, and the board presses down, almost like a seesaw, and kind of accelerates and brakes depending on where the hands are and what the position is. Kind of tilts it up and then back. And begins to drive the actual wagon towards where you're wanting to leave it
I
for the
would like
heist.
to mentally command it to
Obey the law. Don't be sus.
Well, sure. Is
Yeah.
obeying the law. Yep. You get there, I'd say, about an hour.
Guys, I got a boat. I have a boat.
Just thumbs up. What time? How much longer for till like the transport period is?
I will say if you're waiting for Tim Curry to return, I'm just for the sake of it, because I don't want us to go on too much longer and everyone to be really tired. So I'll say it's 4:15ish now. So if you want to go ahead and sneak in there, easy enough to do.
I am the boat.
I know I tease you a lot, Tim Curry, but I was a little bit scared for you. I thought we'd lost you. I'm so relieved to see you.
No one can defeat the plague.
Let's
Jesus
put that to the
Christ.
test and go steal a gemstone.
This is Tom Curry. Does anyone have a hat? Some sunglasses, maybe?
No.
A mask?
In the just in the little gap between when you arrived, I mean, I can make it the top hat maybe, but apparently I have a racial trait that Lockie so kindly pointed out that lets me. Well, I'm not sure if I'd be able to actually, because I don't have the
Says
right
craft
tools.
work.
Yeah, but it says I get advantage on ability checks to produce a.
Do you have
a
forgery
work.
kit?
I don't. I wouldn't be able to make one of the little ribbons, would I?
Probably not,
without the
no.
tools.
Damn.
Okay, never mind.
Can you make a hat?
Can I
You
attempt
need
to make a
material
hat?
to make a hat.
Oh,
You can.
Rip up my dress. I don't need to be a beautiful plague.
Can I try?
Guys,
Sure.
it's 4:15 now. We need to go get that gemstone.
You're not getting a hat.
Fuck
What
my
did you roll?
dress.
So
My
Okay.
fucking dress.
You grab the dress, and because you don't have any sharp implements on you at the moment, you grab the dress and you attempt to kind of put your talons into it to try and rip it, and you use a little bit too much force, and immediately just everything goes flying.
What the fuck? I literally had like 6 daggers. You just had to ask.
I like
All right, let's go get the gemstone now. Can I try stealth into the tunnel entrance?
Sure, roll a stealth check for me. There are guards posted out front.
Mm.
We'll see if they see you.
19.
yay!
They do not see you. You kind of drop down. Surprisingly, the metal surface of your body does not kind of clang together. You very stealthily and slowly move forward, timing it just right as your observation of these guards for the past couple of hours has shown. They tend to turn at a similar time to observe their surroundings, and you're easily able to kind of sneak past them and very kind of gently open the door and sneak into the actual tunnel.
Like
Do the
back
rest
in
of you
Tabor.
follow? Do the rest of you follow?
We have to do a stealth check.
Yes, you will.
It multiplies. The chance of
Oh,
successfully sneaking
no.
as a group is very small.
Tom Curry, stay hidden in the car. Thanks.
You think it understood.
True, then you can
Did
just,
you
like,
name it
sell-
Tom Curry?
If you needed assistance.
I was expecting a Steph Curry.
I
joke.
mean, if you
What would I need to get to? Not
We
you
can't
don't
know that.
know.
Yeah.
No, you don't know.
I don't
typically it's done by, or at least honestly, you see stealth checks run so many different ways. So just roll and see what happens.
know. Yeah.
Blow our cover.
Yeah, you can either blow a cover.
Wait, what's
or
your
we-
what's your modifier for stealth?
+1.
And you got disadvantage,
No,
which means
you're
you
not.
roll twice and you take
You're
the
wearing
lower
your
value.
suit right now. You're not wearing your chainmail. You're wearing your chainmail or your suit.
I'm not wearing my chain.
Oh,
So
take
you
Oh,
won't-
it.
so
Unequip it.
no disadvantage. So you just roll a straight check.
If you go in your inventory, you should be able to.
If you
unequip it.
need help, I'm very sneaky.
There we go.
He's talking to yourself.
How about you? How much stealth do you get? Plus.
More than you.
Okay, then maybe you.
No. You all have to roll the dice to sneak into the door.
Mm-hmm.
All of you have to
Everyone.
sneak in.
Oh, we all have to sneak in.
I mean,
well,
you
no, we don't have
to.
to. You can stay
If
back.
you want to stay back, you can.
Well, yeah. What am I going to be able to do that?
Fight.
Let's go.
Are you coming in?
Yeah.
Oh no. Alright. Time to. Well, Mark's
20. What?
natural 20.
That works.
What?
Let's get a crit fail.
Hey.
15.
Not bad.
Okay.
I'm 11.
Well,
Let's go.
Time for Brady walking down the tunnel and right here fighting.
Okay.
against-
So used to wearing this heavy armor that kind of ding 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 as you walk, having it taken it off and replaced it with a finely crafted, very kind of high quality suit. Rolling again, are we? High quality suit. You're so surprised at the mobility that you have that you easily drop into a crouch, and just like you saw Amadio?
Armadillo.
Amadio. It's like you saw
Armadillo.
Amadio do. Armadillo.
Armadillo boy.
You drop and then you roll forward. No. You easily sneak in past the guards and you stop for a second and you look back and you see Tim Curry is making a hell of a lot of noise with the as they sneak across the grass, these flower chains kind of clinging to them, creating almost a snowball effect. Eventually they manage to through the actual doorway, sneaking through the small gap that you've left open for them. Why?
Sounded my body on hard stone.
Having seen the mess that is Tim Curry go through, for you, Bob, you're so used to sneaking into places that you just tuck the hood up, wait for a second when the guards kind of turn to each other and have a chat, then saying like, "Oh, nice weather having here, yeah," and kind of go on talking about their day. You watch as each of your party members sneak through the doorway, and very easily, almost like a shadow, you slip through the doorway as well. And you guys are now in the actual tunnel system.
Sneaking is easy.
Moving to
Tiles,
the head of the group, Bob, you lead them to where it was originally. I'm assuming you're stealthing through the actual tunnel. There's not as many people here. They don't seem to be in the area as you go past. You lead them to where the bloodstone is lowered, and you can actually hear voices from inside the chamber itself. You can hear very familiar voice to you now say, "Oh yeah, I don't know, it's like really weird and stuff, like this fella just came in and was like, oh, I need to take a piss," and like just pissed all over the wall and all that, like and then he like I ran away and stuff, so I don't really know what the I don't really know what the aim was, but I guess there's like piss in that corner, so like maybe don't don't lean up against her or anything. Like, do you guys are you going to enter into the chamber or?
Can I stealthily try to get a look at who's in?
Sure, roll another stealth check for me.
Another one.
Jim, what are you doing?
No, don't worry. Last row was roll was low, so this one's gonna be high. That's how probability works,
No,
right?
it isn't.
Well,
No
it's
one
even worse.
fucking-
I was only joking, Mark.
They're
11. Well,
independent of it.
it was
Okay.
11. Then I rolled
As
it again.
you
and it was a
go
9.
to move forward, you feel something cold against your ankle,
Oh.
and you notice that Tim Curry is just kind of moving forward, like pulling around your ankles.
We going or what? Ready.
as, as Tim Curry tries to like sneak a peek around the corner to see the pissing corner, and you notice that there are two individuals that are kind of posted on either side of the pedestal, the one that you'd spoken to earlier, and it appears to be a half-orc woman, has her hair pulled back in a bun, kind of facing towards you now, looks up and immediately locks eyes with you.
You're looking at me.
I believe so.
All right.
Why
then.
are you
I'll just be on my
skulking
way.
in the darkness? The other figure turns around. Oh, hey man, it's the pissing guy.
Wait, I was.
You
I
brought your
was.
friends. Are you gonna piss
Yeah.
as well?
I was under the spell that made me look different.
Oh, that's
so you
correct.
probably
Yeah, so it wouldn't
recognize
recognize you.
You
No.
bird head.
Hey, you guys aren't really supposed to be
me.
here.
Did the pisser?
Can they see
Did
me?
the pisser
or no?
hit you too?
How do you know about the pisser?
I was just over here. He pissed all over our stuff as well.
do they know
He's
I'm there now as well, or is it just?
Yeah, you,
I
like-
used to be a real boy.
He's been making the rounds recently. He just pisses on people's stuff and then runs away.
Roll deception.
yeah, roll deception.
Oh no. Oh, 9. I have high deception.
Yeah, it's still 9.
So you mean to tell me that there's this dude that's running around pissing in corners and like pissing all over your shit, man?
And then he runs.
Why would anybody do that?
I really wish I understood it.
Me too, man. I don't even really. Say, why are you all kind of like crouching in the doorway?
Which one looks like the bigger
I
threat?
thought, weren't you sneaking in by yourself or something?
And bloody Tim Curry was.
Oh, but they can see. Oh,
Can
they
they-
can
they-
see.
Well, I assume because you've spoken now, they're kind of looking more into the area.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which one looks like the bigger threat? And is the bloodstone currently down?
It is, yeah. It's on the
Fuck, we just
pedestal
go-
at the moment.
There's just 2 of them there. Which one looks like the bigger threat?
They literally don't look like a threat at all. They're just standing there. They're both kind of hooking the chains over the actual bloodstone.
Cool, I rage.
Aww.
Okay, what do you do as you rage?
Just go. I just like, because my eye color just changes and I run up and I'm gonna just go beat the shit out of one of them with a great sword.
Whoa, what the fuck, man?
Ah!
Gotta hold the hands up. Who are you going for?
The half orc.
Sure.
We could have done this peacefully.
No.
We're
Fuck
evil,
that.
though.
I've
We
been
are
waiting.
evil.
I'm literally a barbarian. Alright, 2 attacks with a greatsword. Let's go.
Oh no.
I literally rolled 2 2s. That is 10 and 10 to a hit.
It hits. Like, this is there's no armor. This is just a dude.
Fuck
just a
yeah.
person.
He was so chill. He let me piss
No, this
in
is the half
corner.
orc, so this is just a lady. Just chilling out.
9. 11 damage in the first hit.
Great.
14 damage on the second hit.
You let out this almighty scream. Your eye color immediately blazes. You whip the greatsword out from behind you. Put both of your hands on it. You rush at this half orc who's in the process of anchoring these chains across the bloodstone. Looks over at you. Looks terrified. Holds the hands up, and you immediately swing the sword in a downward arc, carve her in 2. From the shoulder straight across to the hip, and you watch as she kind of slumps into place, eyes glazed, staring at you. The other side, the guy that was in the room with the pissing holds the hands up, backs towards the corner where Bob had pissed and just holds her hands up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, hey, hey. I just do the chains, man. Like, look, I don't want any trouble. I'm in the pissing corner. Seriously, seriously. I just get paid to do the chains.
How much did you see?
Nothing. I mean, do you mean the pissing? Nothing. I heard it. I didn't see it.
I walk over to the bloodstone.
Were you the pisser? And kind of
I
like,
look at him, I'm like, does it look like I need to pee?
I don't know, man. Like, you seem pretty stressed and agitated. Maybe you want the pissing court. I don't know. He's kind of holding the
I suppose
hands
I'm
up.
technically raging, which means...
No.
Those ones definitely hit. They're much higher than a 2.
Sure. Roll your damage.
Yep. 9, 14, 16.
Plus.
That is all the pluses. So 16 damage to the first hit,
Mm-hmm.
11. 13 damage in the second hit.
Sure. Having been so enraged and backing this figure into the corner after having severed the other one in two, you grab your greatsword, immediately slice downwards. Your sword gets stuck on the collarbone for a second. So enraged by that, you stab your fingers through the eye, hook them into the eye socket, pull forward, and impale them on the rest of your sword, kind of dragging them against the sharpened blade. And they immediately kind of sink to the ground. Blood spills everywhere. His last words, "What the fuck, man?"
I look at
And you watch as he bleeds out on the
You
floor.
remember the rule, no witnesses.
Can I grab a look at the bloodstone? Does it look like the real deal?
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
It's odd that it's so unprotected. I don't know why I rolled the fake dice, but 17.
17. This looks like the real deal.
My god.
You
Alright,
can see
pick
that
it
the
up.
magic is still kind of...
There's magic on it? Like,
Yeah.
is the protective barrier still there?
You don't know.
Only one way to find out.
Oh,
That's not true.
go
There are
pick it
probably
up.
There are probably multiple ways to find
Sure.
out.
You take...
Yeah. Damage incoming.
Well, it depends on the damage.
It's gonna be.
I'm resistant to everything but the psychic. So as long as it's not psychic, I'm
You
good.
Should have waited until after Holly told you what kind of damage.
Psychic, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. You take 21 points of poison damage.
Oh, I'm already resistant to that.
Is it a spell technically?
No, it's...
Do you get double resistance?
Hmm?
I don't think double resistance is a thing.
No, I would cast counterspell.
Oh, no, because as a Warforged, I'm resistant to poison damage. And then as a Bear Totem Barbarian, I'm resistant to all forms of damage but psychic whilst cranky.
I don't think you get double resistance.
So just
though.
half damage? What was it for?
Yeah, it's just 21.
So 21 damage total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of poison.
So, yeah, so that is reduced to 10.
Oh shit, okay, I'll restore 11 hit points then. Alright. I got the rock! Does someone have a bag?
I am a bag.
No, they'll see the glowing red gem in you. Time to get going.
If only we kept that old man's purse.
That would have been helpful.
Let's
Immediately you hear footsteps rushing forward. I think you went through this way, man.
Is there another exit?
There's multiple exits out of the room.
Can I go through one that doesn't have footsteps?
go. But the runaway cart.
Sure, there's one that you don't think you hear footsteps from.
Cool. I pointed it, let's go.
Sure, you guys racing down. I'll get Bob, since you are the one who spent the most time down here. I'll get you to roll a survival check for me, please.
Bibbidi bop. Skibidi bop, bip, bop, bop, bim. Ba da ba ba ba. That's a crit fail.
Okay.
3.
You begin to race forward, and thinking you know exactly where you're going, you take a left and you immediately snap into a wall. And you take...
No. Not the damage. Oh. Ay caramba.
7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nah, that's fine. Not even a scratch.
Come to the runaway cart.
There are footsteps by the runaway cart.
We can kill them.
Spinning around, you turn and you race down another doorway. You're down the winding paths now. You're feeling stressed out that you're in a section that you don't know as well. You can hear the sounds of footsteps closing in on you. There's only one way forward for you now that doesn't have footsteps.
We go that way, right?
Sure, you're running that way. I will get everyone to just tell me their movement speeds.
40 foot.
30.
30.
You're probably 30 as well. You're 30.
Okay. So you are in front at the moment, with your 40 feet of movement speed. Bob, you're kind of trailing behind at this point. You are running through these passageways. Eventually, you hear there is a voice that kind of calls out from one of the side passageways. Alright, there, I'll just get you to stop now. And you feel, as you cross in front of this gap in the passageways, you feel a spell being cast on you, casting Hold Person at 4th level.
What kind of save is that?
I believe it's Wisdom. I'll just double check.
So some spells you can resist them with a
Wisdom
saving
saving
throw.
throw.
I would like to cast Counterspell.
Those
Okay.
bonuses there.
10 plus the DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so 13.
Oh, it's a 4th level cast, so 14.
No, my level,
No,
not their level.
no, it's the level the spell is being cast at. So there's what level they're casting it at.
So if I...
So you need to roll more than 14. You need to
Oh,
roll
I
14
roll.
or higher
Okay.
to see if you counter the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Whee. That's a 1.
Okay. Unfortunately, as you attempt to
15 to save.
15, that saves. Just.
Oh.
I
Um,
whip my head around at the mage.
The mage kind of stares at you for a second. You feel for a second as if your joints are locking into place. You feel what appears to be chains kind of wrapping themselves around you and beginning to squeeze to hold you into place. As Tim Curry kind of attempts to cast from the side to counterspell it, you immediately feel your rage kind of bubbling up in you, and like any good barbarian would do, you feel the chains shatter around you, and you face the mage now. And you can see that there are about 10 other guards kind of clustered behind, all waiting to see if the spell took effect. Obviously it did not. What would you like to do?
Can I roll intimidation to laugh sinisterly and draw my greatsword at them?
Sure.
May I offer advantage by doing assist by summoning a 5-foot cloak of flies around us?
What?
Yeah?
Advantage? Sure.
Okay.
That's a 19.
With a 19, you hear the humming of thousands of flies that begin to kind of cloak around you now, kind of all swarming, and you draw your greatsword, hearing it dragging across the cobbles, and you see, as you raise it, the blood still dripping from the two that you'd killed already. And the mage looks horrified for a moment and says, "Oh my god. Oh my god," and kind of takes a step back and seems suitably intimidated by you. Hand kind of drops for a second from the outstretched position. What do you guys do?
Do we have a surprise round?
No.
No, I'm just looking at it right now. Where's the way out?
There's multiple ways out.
Where is the nearest way out?
Roll a survival check for me, please.
13.
A 13, you know that it's actually not down that path. It's down one that is... So, it's down straight ahead for 30 feet, to the left another 30 feet, and then you're at the stairs.
I'm gonna go that way. If any of you follow, I will put more blood on my sword.
They don't seem to follow if you're going to race ahead. They
Yeah.
seem to kind of leave it for a moment. Yep, you're all just following. Sure. Eventually, you clatter up the stairs. Bloodstone kind of held with you. You can hear noises from the outside. It appears like talking, and you can hear what appears to be clanging and the sound of things being moved and like bottles clinking together. And as you all race up the stairs, the door opens and you immediately kind of burst through, shoulder checking what appears to be a worker. Alright, man, what the fuck is that? And kind of as you pass through, you see that it's the same worker that you had originally spoken to and told to take a break. He's still carrying his crates in from where he'd found them around the side of the tunnel.
I'm shoulder checking anyone in my way.
The crate drops. He kind of steps back. You all kind of pass by, like doom, 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 one by one. And eventually, what would you guys like to do? You can see that there are guards that are kind of taking notice of you all and the commotion that had happened at the front of this tunnel here.
Is these
Tom Curry.
You're heading to Tom Curry?
Yeah.
Sure. Immediately you make it. You can hear guards yelling, stop, stop, stop. And kind of attempting to fire arrows at you. I'm going to roll some checks here. That's only a 10 to hit. So it doesn't hit you. That is a 21 to hit you, Tim Curry.
No.
It's you. That is only 5 points of damage. To hit you, that is a 9.
9 is a points of damage.
No, 9 to hit. So
So-
that'd be your AC at the moment.
So like shield should be a
The
shield
little
icon
shield, yeah.
just under your speed.
Oh, hit armor class.
Yep.
5 or less.
Okay, doesn't hit. So you manage to duck out of the way. You hear the arrow kind of whiz past your ear. For you, Borb, that is a 14 to hit.
Armor class of 15.
Does not hit. So, having seen Milo just kind of evading one of the arrows, you duck the other way as another arrow sails past you. The only arrow that hits home is unfortunately on Tim Curry. He watches it kind of sinks into you for a second.
I enjoy the pain.
And you have a kind of the fletching of the arrow still sticking out of your back. You guys eventually make Tom Curry, and what do you say?
Tom Curry, take us away.
And you watch as it kind of puts the hands down, raises it up, and you guys rapidly kind of jolt up into the air, kind of clinging onto the side of the actual wagon itself, and you hear the as it kind of settles into place, and you immediately take off speed of light. You can see the arrows still trying to kind of pull and trying to hit you. You can hear them as it kind of hits into the actual side. You guys manage to escape with everything intact. All that's left to do now is take it back to Maurice.
We literally just killed them and ran.
That was relatively easy for a so-called legendary relic.
That was our first plan.
Hey, don't knock it if it works, right?
Should we wait a few weeks for things to calm down and then we can...
Maybe we just hide somewhere in the lower city for a bit.
Yeah. Chill.
Sure. I'll say eventually you guys can find somewhere in the lower city to hide in. How long would you like to hide?
1 week sounds
Sure.
good.
A week passes. You guys are not necessarily disturbed by anything. You do hear rumblings of Maurice being very upset with the fact that the Bloodstone was taken. And you can hear there are like manhunts going on trying to look for all of you for a little while. Eventually they seem to have died down slightly, though there are still rumblings of people taking from the rich and the upper and lower houses of Loftus and attempting to maybe give back to the poor and kind of teach the rich a lesson. Only seems to kind of stir revolutionary fervor.
Do we have any idea where Maurice might be?
You know that Maurice has an office in Loftus somewhere. If you'd like to return it to...
I can always disguise myself and go return it.
Voice of reason here. Do we give it to him?
did say he would pay us.
Okay, well, problem solved.
Let's go to his office then.
Excuse me. I can take it alone.
No thanks.
No. You
Okay.
are like the least trustworthy one of us.
Alright.
I am not trusting you with 15,000 gold pieces.
Last time you had 300, you gambled literally all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're an addict.
I'm not giving you money.
Okay.
We're here to help.
Eventually, you guys approach Maurice's office. You can see that it's actually a very it's kind of a quaint looking brownstone building, though the door actually seems to be just a set of gears that kind of open and shift to let people in or out. The actual interior, everything is just so. There's a kind of rich dark wood desk with lots of little knickknacks on it. You can see there's one of those Newton's cradles on there that seems to kind of snap back into place, kind of thrum with magic. There's books just kind of stacked from wall to wall. There's various little knickknacks all around the place. You can see there are swords that are kind of interlocking. There's lots of little gears that kind of shift and make the room kind of raise up and down. And Maurice is sat at the desk, kind of pen in hand, like a fine, almost a really thin fountain pen that kind of writes by itself as he catches it in the air and then kind of throws it back down almost like a dart as it writes in front of him. Looks up as you enter. Well. So you were back, I see. So you didn't steal and run, because you know I hate that. So you've come to collect your reward, I'm assuming. So you did actually steal the bloodstone, did
Pull
you?
out Bloodstone.
Fantastic. Come, bring it to me.
Okay,
you take
bring
it to him?
Yeah.
He kind of...
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean show you the money? I've shown you the money. You know I have the money. And he points out the sacks that are still kind of stacked up on the side. I have the money. What more do you need to know?
Could I perform, I want to see if the stacks are real.
Sure, roll an inside check.
Inside, is that the one?
Investigation, maybe.
They're both +0. 17.
With a 17, I'll say they definitely look real. They're currently covered in, like, Hessian sacks, but that you can see that there are gems that kind of glint in the light. They're all stacked and kind of smattered around the room. Everything is organized chaos here.
Mm-hmm. But they're not illusory.
You don't think so?
Cool. That's as long as I don't think so. That's cool.
Sure.
Cool.
So do we have a deal? Come on. And he goes over to grab these huge sacks that rattle as he kind of clanks them down on the desk in front of him. 5,000 stacks. See, I have it all. Give me the bloodstone. 5,000 a stack.
Ah.
Do you not know maths?
So
Is
that's
it?
3 stacks.
5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. No?
Cool. I'll put I'll put the bloodstone down on the desk and then grab the money.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And you watch as he kind of puts a hand out and begins to kind of claw it back towards him. You watch as he actually twists the top, and you hear this kind of as it opens. And inside, you don't get a look because he kind of spins his back around. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Pleasure doing business with you. As always, it's always a pleasure and never a chore. Thank you. And kind of heads back. Kind of holds it in front of him. You guys can just hear a faint hum and see what appears to be a bright kind of plum-coloured light that seems to kind of glow off the back of the wall. And I think that's where we're going to end the session. It was a long one today.
He's gonna do something naughty with that.
Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Love that. Thank you. I'm sorry it was a bit long. Thank you to anybody who has stayed with us for this long. We really appreciate it.
We-
We will be back next week for some more of our main campaign. Mark, how did you find D&D first time? Bit much. Chaos.
There's a bit lot going on.
Mm. Sure, as long as you enjoyed it, that's all that matters. If you do want to catch up before our next week's session on any of the other one-shots that we have, or our main session, main campaign sessions, you can do so, as always, in the description below. Double check the links to our YouTube with all of our archive videos. So, it's always a pleasure and never a chore to DM for you all. Much love. We will see you guys in a week's time. Goodbye for now.
Bye.